This is the Lowepro Protactic 450 AW. Don't ask me what AW stands for. I have no idea. Maybe check their website. It might say something on that. But here it is. Protactic 450 AW camera bag. Now, quick back history. When I first got started into photography, I did not have a camera bag. I had minimal camera equipment as it was, so I didn't really see a need in putting a lot of money into a camera bag. So at first I started off with a backpack that I had bought at Forever 21 that I used to use to carry my laptop in. So once I got into photography, I just started tossing my camera and my lenses in there and my filters, and it was a mess. So right after that, my parents bought me an over-the-shoulder, if you've ever seen the Anna bags that you can get online, my parents bought me one of those. It was an over-the-shoulder camera bag with 3 different dividers inside of it. Sweet bag, but the problem was it was really tough on my shoulders, whichever shoulder I had it hanging over. It would always pull on it, and you'd wake up in the morning and it didn't feel good. Your shoulder was killing you. You felt like you'd been in a car accident. It was rough. So eventually I moved from that to another backpack. I took the dividers out of the Anna bag and I put it down in a, actually, hang on. This thing. This was a backpack that was gifted to me by somebody. It is a Sur bag made in Los Angeles. Somebody gifted me this backpack, so I put the dividers down in here and started using this for a good while because it would separate my camera from my my laptop and my equipment and those sorts of things. It would somewhat separate it, but there's just not enough padding, and it still looks cool. It just wasn't really cutting it. So after that, I moved on to, I really should have had these things closer to me when I started filming this video. After that, I moved on to this. This is a pistol case that my dad gave to me. It is a Protactor series by Plano. This is just a pistol case, and inside of it there is these foam cutouts. You can see one of my cameras is in here, and I cut out different spaces for different pieces. You can see lens, charger, all that other fun stuff. So that was that, but I really didn't want to have to feel like I always had something in my hands, and I always felt like that with this. You know, you're carrying this like a briefcase, and you don't have both of your hands free, and that was kind of frustrating. So the search continued. So eventually I was loaned I don't have it with me, a camera bag from Peak Design. Now, I've seen some of the stuff that Peak Design's been putting out. It's really cool stuff. Their straps and their strap system and the little clip thingy that goes on your camera bag and all these various things, and really cool. So somebody loaned me one of these bags for me to use for a little while. I used it, tried it. To be honest, the bag was kind of cool, and I actually thought about making a review on the bag to let you guys know what I thought about it, but I thought more bad things about it than I thought good things, and I figured that out as I started making the review. So as far as the Peak Design camera bag goes, great camera bag, really cool, but I will say this: if you are a wedding cinematographer or a wedding photographer, I would not suggest that bag. It is a mess. The only way to get into it is from the sides, and whenever you open it up, you take a chance on stuff falling out, and it really doesn't hold a lot of stuff, and the way it kind of separates stuff is difficult. It's not like you can open one side and get all the way through. If you open one side and realize the lens is on the other side, you have to zip that up and open up the other side to get it out. It's a mess. It does open from the top. You can get into it from the top, and it does separate your computer from your camera equipment. So that was good. I liked that, but I still was not happy with this bag. So, all right, so before I get started with this review, I just want to go ahead and give a quick little disclaimer. This is not a paid endorsement of Lowepro or of their gear, their bags, or anything of that sort. I purchased this bag with my own money. They didn't send it to me for free. They're not paying me to say any of this stuff. I have no connection with Lowepro whatsoever. It's just, I had been looking for a camera bag, something that looked good but was also practical. I stumbled across this. Somebody that I watch a lot named Peter McKinnon actually had talked about this backpack. So I decided to purchase one. Within 12 hours of receiving the box that this bag came in and pulling the bag out, putting my stuff in it, getting it all organized, and using the bag, I had already decided that this is going to be my camera bag from here on out. I love this bag, and there are many reasons that go behind that. I'm just going to cover a few of them just to give you some things to expect if you should decide to purchase this camera bag. So one of the first things I love about it is how easy it is to customize this bag. You've got all these different little loops and little hoops and different pouches and things like that on the side, and on the inside all of the dividers are interchangeable or movable. You can change it to different shapes. You can take all of them out if you wanted to and just make it into a regular backpack, but that would kind of defeat the purpose of buying this bag in the first place. But you could do that if you wanted to. You can change it to fit any style, any size lens, anything like that. I think the biggest lens you could probably fit in here would be like the 70 to 200. You might could fit like 100 to 300 in here, but that'd probably be pushing it a little bit. But I've carried a 70 to 200 in here. I carry all sorts of different things in my camera bag as well that aren't necessarily camera related. For example, I carry a UE Mega Boom speaker with me whenever I travel and I go take pictures, just because I like to have music when I shoot and I don't always have earbuds. It's not always practical to have earbuds, so it's just nice to have a Bluetooth speaker. And fortunately, I can adjust this camera bag to fit that speaker, so I don't have to carry it in a separate bag or hold it in my hand or anything like that. It's awesome. I love how customizable this bag is. Next, this bag is weather sealed, which is a huge deal. When you are buying a piece of equipment to protect all of the rest of your equipment, it needs to work. This camera bag is no exception. It needs to be hard, it needs to be durable, but it also needs to be resilient to the weather, whether that be dust, dirt, sand, water, whatever the case may be. This bag needs to be able to take it and keep my camera equipment safe, because I've got thousands of dollars worth of camera equipment inside of this backpack. They need to be safe and secure, and I can honestly say that I trust this backpack, this camera bag, with those things. So I love that. It also comes with this nifty, I don't know if you can see this, it comes with this nifty rain fly, which is kind of cool. If you were ever to be out camping and it started raining and you wanted to cover up your backpack, you can just whip this bad boy out, wrap it all the way around your bag. I'm not going to do it because it sounds like a hassle. And it would keep your bag nice and dry, even more weather resilient than what it already is. I love the fact that I can trust this camera bag with all of my equipment and have no worries whatsoever. Another small detail that people really kind of tend to look past is the way you open the bag. Now, you can open it from the top right here, and you can see this first little layer right here, this little pouch right here. You can also open it from the sides right here, but that's not really the most practical way to open something from the sides. The best way, the main way to open this bag is from behind, which I love. I had seen people before, for example, Peter McKinnon, of whom I have looked up to for a long time, and he's actually the person who suggested this camera bag, talked about the fact that it opened from the back.
Specifically, I like a backpack that opens from the back. Doesn't matter what brand it is, but if it opens from the back, that protects it from thieves.
Now, I will say, when I first saw the fact that this camera bag opened from the back, I didn't think it was really gonna be that big of a deal. I didn't think that was such a big issue, but now that I actually have it, I love it. I have to take this bag off, and I have to lay it down, and I have to be over my camera gear I have to be over this backpack in order to access my camera gear, which I love. Now, the one thing I will say about this bag that I was not expecting and I'm a little disappointed in is the weight of the bag. It's actually very heavy. For the first time I pulled it out of the box, my wife was standing right next to me when I pulled it out. The first thing I said was, it's heavier than I expected it to be. And that truly is the case. It is a heavy bag even by itself. Then once you start adding in a 70-200, a 5D Mark IV, a 1DX, a Sony a7R III, whatever you're gonna add into this bag, once you start adding stuff into it, it just gets heavier and heavier. I've actually kind of been questioning whether or not I want to put up with the fact that it's heavy, but honestly, that's the only con I can find. Out of the pros and the cons, there are far more pros than there are cons. Just a small one. Another thing is you have these straps right here, these bottom straps that you can wrap around your waist. I just discovered this today. It really does take a lot of the weight off of your back and kind of help your back a little bit. Now, I'm gonna have a link for this backpack down in the description, but unless I'm badly mistaken, I think I paid $165 US for this. 165, 170, something like that. Now, most people might be looking at this and saying, 170 bucks for a backpack, that's kind of expensive. But again, when you're trusting something with thousands of dollars worth of camera gear, it's definitely worth the price that you're going to pay. And take it from somebody who's been looking for the perfect camera bag for well over a year now. Whatever you find, it's going to be expensive. A good camera bag is going to be expensive. It's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles. So, but I would honestly say that the price of this bag is not a big enough deterrent for you not to buy this bag. If you're looking for a good camera bag, you want something that looks good but is also practical, this is the way to go. Lowepro, they make really great stuff. The Protactic line is awesome. They also make rolling bags and they make over-the-shoulder bags and they make smaller bags. They really do put a lot of time and a lot of effort into designing and creating these bags and these products, and I really thoroughly do like this backpack, and I will be using this from now on until this bag breaks or until I order a better bag from Lowepro. But there's nothing wrong with this bag. I love it to death. This is by a long stretch my favorite bag that I've ever owned. So back on the topic of price, just so we're being clear, photography is not a cheap hobby. It's not a cheap career by any stretch of the imagination. Camera gear is expensive. Equipment is expensive. You know, when you start getting into lighting and microphones and tripods and cabling and lenses and camera bodies and bags and stabilizers and sliders and whatever, it's expensive. It's an expensive hobby. It's an expensive career. But if you're passionate about it and you think that you have a really good shot at making something that's really, really, really awesome and doing something that's different, it's well worth the money. A thing to remember is you're going to get what you pay for, okay? So if you pay $200 to $300 for a camera, you can expect to get a $200 to $300 camera. But if you pay $2,000 or $3,000 for a camera, you can expect to get a much, much, much better image, whether it be from the megapixels or the frame rates or the color coding or anything like that. Same goes for lenses, microphones. Right now I'm using a Rode Video microphone for recording all of my audio. I am not happy by any stretch of the imagination with the audio quality that I'm getting from that microphone filming in my very echoey apartment, but you know, it's part of it. I didn't pay a whole lot. I think it was like 60 or 70 bucks for that microphone. At some point I will upgrade and I'll buy something better, maybe from Sennheiser or from Shure or somebody like that, or I might even stick with Rode and use some of their stuff because I do think they make great stuff. But until that time happens, this is what I'm gonna be using. But I don't have any need. I can't complain about my audio quality when I haven't put money into a half decent microphone. Neither can you. So just remember, whenever you're getting ready to buy camera gear, whenever you're getting ready to buy accessories and those types of things, what you pay for is what you're going to get. So if you buy a cheap camera bag, you can expect to get a cheap camera bag. But if you put good money into a good camera bag, you can expect to get a product that's gonna last you forever. It's gonna protect your camera gear. It's gonna be comfortable to wear. It's gonna look good when you wear it. All of those good things. So just remember, what you pay for is what you're gonna get. Anyways, last time I'm gonna mention it, Lowepro Protactic. If you're looking for a camera bag, this is by a long stretch the best bag out there in my honest opinion. For me, and for what I do, and for the people that I think watch these videos, this is definitely the camera bag out there that you need to go get. All right guys, that's gonna be it for me. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and like, subscribe, whatever it is you do here on YouTube. Comment, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you own one of these bags, if you're thinking about buying one. If you buy one, let me know what you think about it. And yeah, I guess I'll look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. It's true. I'll see you there. See you guys.